Shade. Yeah, there are more chairs coming. This was Rastafari Nyabingi chanting. Yes, chants of peace, love, overstanding. They are the sacred chanting of the Rastafari. It is the final day of our night program here at the House of Rastafari. It is the 16th edition of our activities. You know, the House of Rastafari, as you might know already, is the cultural center for the Rastafari activities within Rototom Festival. So we are here as a pulsing heart for anything concerning Rastafari, from books to jamming, chanting, food. We have seminars every day, reasoning, where we expose and we share with ones and ones certain important subjects of Rastafari Livity, Rastafari history, and spirituality. So we have been touched the inspirational figure of Rastafari movement. Yes, so it was a great moment for all of I and I. Was an historical moment, meeting Prince Hermias Selassie from the imperial house of Ethiopia, bloodline of Haile Selassie I. So it was vibrant, it was electric, it was magnetic in a sense. And those of you that were present, I'm sure they had the same sensation. So we're gonna have our last reasoning today here, and it's gonna be about love. It's gonna be about this simple, short, mostly used word that is love. Yes, we're gonna have Ras Ibi here with I, and it's gonna be me, you know, with my little reflection that I want to share with all of you. Because when we talk about Rastafari, we talk about love, and when we talk about love, we talk about freedom. So the title of the seminar of today is Rasta Heart, Love as a Way to Freedom. Please let me greet Ras Ibi, which has been with I for different years now, and which every day share some of his experience, some of his knowledge, and his insight with I. Give thanks, Ras Ibi. I would give a warm energy to Ras Ibi. Blessed love, blessed love. So before to take in the subject of today, please let me just give thanks and express my gratitude to all of you that have been present here every afternoon, despite the sun, despite the heat, despite all the other attractions that are in these festivals, in order to recharge yourself with this Rastafari Livity, which is a message of peace, love, and well-being. So thanks to you, I want to thank my brothers and my sisters of the House of Rastafari, because without them none of this would have been possible. They have been traveling, they have been cooking, they have been serving food, they have been working hard, each one of them, each one of I and I, from small child to older man. Each one of I and I has been putting this effort in order for this to happen again. Yes, for this House of Rastafari to be here. So I give thanks. I give thanks for having the possibility of being here in front of I and I all and share this meditation. We talk about love. And when we talk about love, we don't only speak about a feeling, an emotion. When we think about love, we think immediately about love for our wife, our children, our family, our friends. Well, in Rastafari we learn that love is much more than an emotion, is much more than a feeling, and in fact is a real practice in life, is a way of life. Love, so to speak, according to the Rastafari tradition, is a cohesive force. Yes, the first definition that we find in reasonings amongst Rastafari is love as a cohesive force. What does that mean? It means that love is something that can bind together, can glue together, can stick together, and can hold together different elements. Okay? If we think about this universe, we see what we mean. This universe, Mother Earth, the nature, the family, human being, we are all kept together, held together by an invisible force, which is love. If we think about a relationship between husband and wife, between good friends, good brethren, good sisters, what is that keep us there together? Nobody oblige I and I, nobody impose onto I and I to be together, but there is something that keep us together, something that say to us, oh yes, I feel nice. This is a joy. Is a sparkle of pleasure, of joy and happiness that we experience when we are together with that person, that family, that team, that group. Yes? So we could extend that also to this festival where we are. 26 years of Rototom, and we still have people coming back every year. Why is that? Because there is something so tangible but yet invisible that keep us together. It's an energy. So this is to say that love is a force, love is an energy, something that is able to move something else. So that's why Rastafari tradition say love is a cohesive force. If love is not there, what is there? Hate, conflict, war. What is the consequence of this? Division. So the opposite of cohesion is division. The opposite of love is hate, conflict. Consequently, hate and conflict brings forth division. And I don't really need to make example about that. We all know about war. And without even going too far, we know about arguments, we know about conflicts between man and woman, man and man, between friends. Yes? Conflicts, arguments, in which we move from a state of harmony to a state of division. So sometimes we argue, and before we were fine, but then like in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something change, click, and we find ourselves in the same room with that person, but yet very distant. Why? Because in that moment we are not cultivating, we are not keeping up this cohesive force of love. So consequently, we fall apart. That's okay. We can work on that. We can fix that. But it's up to who? It's up to us. We wanted to title this seminar Love, Rasta Heart, Love as a Way to Freedom. Because the subject and the topic and the essence of this 30 minutes of reasoning will be that love has the capacity to set us free. This is what I learn and live and practice in Rastafari tradition. So the good news is here that love is a force that can liberate us. It sounds nice, appealing, but how do we do that? Well, it takes practice. It's not impossible, but it takes practice. And the first point from where to start is to recognize that energy. Yes? We need to be mindful of the fact that we tend to not recognize what is inside us or what is in front of us. What do I mean? I mean that most of the time we are not present with our mind, especially when these kind of conflicts arise and these kind of discussions and divisions arise. We are taken by emotions. We are taken and driven by negative feelings. Those could be anger, jealousy, insecurity, anxiety, fear. Yes? So those negative feelings, when they occur in that moment, they blind us. They block our mindful capacity of recognize what is happening. So consequently, we react. We don't act, we react. Yes? For instance, somebody says something that upset us. Yes? Somebody is provoking us. Somebody says something that doesn't sound right to us. So we say, why? So immediately, in a nanosecond, those words touch something inside of us that may feel us insecure, offended, fearful, angry, and then we react. And when we react, moved by anger and offense and fear, we don't react consciously, but we just open the mouth, and the mouth that go by itself. Words come out of I mouth by themselves. That's why, I mean, must have happened to all of us. That's why then we say, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Oh, I didn't want to say that. Oh, it just come out of my mouth. Why is that? Why? How is possible that we as a human being, that we can control machines, computer, family, runnings, jobs, meetings and everything else? How is possible that we lose control of 2, 3, 4 words, one sentence, and that mess it up with our wife, with our schoolmate, job mate, and we create a conflict? So why is that? It's because we are not present in that moment, and it's because we are not letting love take control, but we are blinded by emotions. So what I'm here to say now is that what I've learned in my years in Rastafari Livity by the examples of Ainai Elder, because please be mindful of the fact that all these things that I'm saying is not my invention. They don't come from me. You know, I am only a vessel. I am only here, just like this glass. Okay, the content is what the Rastafari tradition throughout the years has brought on. Okay, so these are meditations, reflections, and this is a practice of life that comes from back in the days and has been passed on from generation to generation. So I couldn't be here if my elders were not here. So is all devotion, all reverence goes to them. When we learn to recognize love, we end up finding a space of freedom. Why? Because love is the alternative. Love is the other possibilities in those moments in which we feel offended, we feel fragmented, and we react. We react. And in reacting, most of the time, we create division. So, love, what I'm trying to say, is another way to address issues in our life. Rastafari Livity is something that has a practical reflection in everyday life. Yes, we have to shape our existence and our life to try to get the best out of our 24 hours. Okay? So that's why we are very much focused on the practical experience. Rastafari is not a religion, is not a philosophy, not an ideology, even though there are parts of Rastafari Livity that are theological, philosophical, cultural, ideological, moral, but Rastafari is a way of life. And it's only through our life that we can experience what is really here for us to experience, which is the goodness of this life. The joy of life, the spring of joy that every day can bring forth. Yes, and that we can share with all of I. So how we do that? Practicing love. It's like an exercise. So when we are having a conflict with somebody spoke to us in a way in which we don't like, we have two options in front of us. One is to react and try to be harder upon that person than he was on us. Yes? So to say, okay, I'm stronger. Oh yeah, I'll put you in the corner. I'm putting you in the corner. I have the capacity of putting you in the corner and holding you there. So I am the stronger. I am who's gonna win this conflict. So this is one option, which I think that everybody of us has found ourselves in that position. Yes? This thing happened to all of us. The other option now is to recognize that we are in a problem in that moment and to apply something else, which is the force of love. What do I mean? I mean to find an alternative solution. The alternative solution is not to be right or not to be wrong, is not wanting to harm who is in front of us, and not wanting to harm ourselves. Because we have to remember that when we harm each other, we are harming ourselves. If we beat somebody, we feel the pain. If we offend somebody verbally, we feel that pain. So we are hurting ourselves. And the Bible shows us, and mankind confirm it, that if we cannot love ourselves, we cannot love each other. Okay? So, love in those situations is that capacity, is that force, that is the alternative reaction. And we say to ourselves, okay, let's try now not to fall down and go hard on this person and go down on this person. But we find a different space, and that space is comprehension. That space is letting go. That space is not pushing the button on that person so that we can provoke him and hurt him, because that would be mean. That would be something that does not benefit to anybody. So love is so important and so effective that even in a short period of time, even before an answer, if we are mindful, it can change the entire situation, the entire context. That's why not responding is an act of love. Not provoking is an act of love. Not pushing that button because we know that the person in front of us has a weaker spot, and so we do not push that weaker spot. When we make that decision and we refrain from from hurting that person, we are practicing love. And do you know what does that mean? It means that we are changing the chain reaction that has been activated at the beginning of that conflict. So we are implementing, we are doing a total revolution. We are changing things on the table. Yes? And we will see by our own experience that that will bring to a total different scenario. So that's why one second of mindful love and mindful speech can avoid a lot of bad consequences. So that's how we understand that love is a space. Yes, it's a comfort zone in which everybody can feel better. When we apply that force, we are saving ourselves from falling into the pitfall, and we are saving the person in front of us, and we are letting go of wanting to revenge, for example, and we are finding ourselves in a much better space. So love is a space. Love is a decision. Love is a next step to where? It's a next step to safety, to a secure place. When we are arguing, when we are in a conflict, nobody of us is in a safe place. We are in danger. We feel tension in the body, we feel tension in the mind. Our adrenaline, our heart beat speed up. So there is clearly tension, there is clearly a problem there, okay? So love is the healing force that can slow down all of this and can bring back things on a harmonious level. So that is a healing process. When we practice this love during our day, so we heal ourselves and we heal the context around us. That's why we say that love can liberate us. Yes? Love is the unspoken position that you take when you are facing a problem in your life. Most of the time our problems come from wanting to be right and not accepting to be wrong. Yes? So we are afraid of being wrong and we want to be right so much. Each one of us have experienced that. So what about if there is a third option? Not being right. Not having to win. Not having to impose our opinion on the other person, but just let life do the rest. Let God Almighty. And if you don't believe in God, let just the universe, life, let this cycle of season do the rest. You know? So that is an act of love. Stepping back a little moment and not, don't go down to somebody. Just step back and have faith. That is the next act of love that we can recognize and practice and exercise every day in our life. So I'm saying these things because we practice in Rastafari to be mindful and to recognize how often love can be exercised in our life. Yes? Rastafari is synonymous of love, one love. Bob Marley sings our one love. But sometimes I think we give for granted what this love is for real. Yes? And we think about love, everybody happy, everybody feeling alright. Well, let me tell you something. Love is the capacity of dealing with the hardest situation of your life, with the most difficult situation of your life. Because love is that force that comes in when we are very, very sad and when we are facing something that we feel we cannot, we don't have the means and the capacity to face. Yes, when we are facing something greater than us, bigger than us, heavier. So we tend, in those moments, to run away from that bad situation. But there is something inside of us that can allow us to be in that situation, to be in that position, to be in the muddy waters, and to learn from that. Sometimes we are facing nightmares, you know, symbolically speaking, in our life. Situations that we say, oh, this is a nightmare, oh no, gosh, I wish so much this wouldn't happen to me. I wish to be somewhere else, somebody else. Yeah, but yet, that is our life. So in Rastafari we learn to give thanks also when obstacles arise on our path. Why? Because those obstacles can really teach us a lot. So with what we do, we try to love also those moments. And not because we are kind of crazy and we love to suffer, no. But because we want to learn how to go through even the difficult experiences of our life. In order to do what? In order to become bigger, to become greater, to become wiser. In order to find in ourselves a strength that we didn't even know to have. Well, my brothers and my sisters, that force that bring us to take that decision is love. Learning to love our bad situation, our troubles, our difficulties, because we know that they are doing something for us in order to make us grow. That's a wise way to look at reality. And that can totally change the scenario, because it will not take us to be tense and to be rejecting, yes, what we are living, but it will enable us to say, all right, this is what I have to go through now, I will go through, okay, and I know that it will take me somewhere else. So we don't see life as a curse, we don't see like the universe is coming against us, we don't go into that mind movie in which we feel that everything is against us, and we get tense, and our mind gets so narrow that we cannot discern good from bad, and we might end up taking the wrong decision or saying the wrong thing and creating a mess. So if we stop before that, it's because we are applying love. Love to prevent us and who is around us to go into even a worse situations. So love is always a win-win decision. It's a win-win situation. Yes? So don't get me wrong, love, it does not mean that you are submissive and that you are not independent and that you don't have to rebel to injustice. This is not what I'm saying. Love, it does not mean to live as chickens, you know, and to be passive. No. Love, it means to be wise enough to take the right decision for us and for who is around us. So when we learn to use that force inside us, we will free ourselves and we will free people around us, our family, our community, from a lot of suffering, a lot of pain. So again we see that love is a healing energy. Yes? So this love that we have inside, and all of us have inside, because love is an inner capacity, we have to recognize it and know how to use it, and not only think about love as a feeling, as a sentiment, like, oh, I am in love for this girl, oh, I am in love with this music. Oh, yeah. Let's apply this capacity. If we think about our difficulties in life, and we look back and we see how we reacted, we might find ourselves saying, oh, I should have done that, oh, I should have done this. So we can have a sense of how things would have gone if we would have made one decision or the other decision. This is what we call life reading. Sometimes it's important to sit down and read through the pages of our life in order to wise up a little bit, because sometimes we cannot learn how to live from books and instructions, but we have to learn it from this bigger book, which is our life. Yes? So each one of us has a book, which is our same life, that will teach us how to live this same life. Yes? So we see that when we are in hate and conflict, our mind is very narrow. Our mind space is very close. We feel attacked from all over the place. From the four corners, we feel attacked. We feel under pressure. We feel like we should find ourselves some kind of strength to break down these walls that constrict us. Well, how do we apply love in those moments? We relax. We try to breathe and we relax in the situation in which we are. If we try to relax and just let that moment pass, because there is not one bad moment that lives and stays forever, like there is no storm that stays forever, we will see that after that moment is past, things will get better and we will feel better. So that is an act of love. Stopping, to stop, to reflect, to breathe, and to not react immediately, but just to let go, is an act of love. A very big one, a very profound one. Sometimes the heroes of this life, the real heroes, are those that are able to stop themselves and not worsen the situation in which they are. They are real heroes. And we can see them politically, historically, we can see them in our life, in our family, in our personal histories. The example of the people that were able to stop and don't aggravate the situations. Yeah, they applied love. So taking time, relaxing is an act of love. Slowing down is an act of love. And love is cultivation. To nurture and to cultivate something or somebody. Like if we think to our mother, our father, they nurtured us, yeah? So they cultivated us. And they took care of us. So sometimes we need to go back to that example and think about our mother, that she brought us into her womb, into her belly, and then she feed us, and she loved us. So that is an example of love. So that love we can apply to every circumstance of our life, if we are able to read it, if we are able to recognize it. So sometimes we need to be father, mothers of our destiny, of our circumstances, of our choice and our decisions. And we need to learn to take care of ourselves and of each other. This world, this community, this mankind, it does not work well, it does not function well if we do not take care of each other. The people in our life, they deserve our care. People in our team, in our group, our friends, they deserve our care. But because we are so distracted and our mind is gone so far, we forget who is in front of us. And we tend to forget the importance of the people around I and I. So we give for granted our families, our spouse, our wife, children. We give them for granted, our friends. And we forget how much they need us and how much we need them. So taking care is a very important act of love. And it doesn't take much. Sometimes it's one word, sometimes it's a phone call, sometimes it's just a eyesight, and the other person feel, okay, yeah, there is something there, okay, this person is there. Presence is the first act of love. Sometimes even when we don't know what to say, we cannot change the situation, but we are present for somebody that maybe is going through a difficult moment, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We can just be there, you know, and just close to this person, you know. We can also hold the hand of this person, and even if we don't say anything, our presence brings love, because the first act of love is presence, mentally, physically, emotionally. So now, what we experience in that moment is something revolutionary, because we feel the pain of the other person next to us. In that way, the walls of our heart fall down. All the negative energies that have created walls around our heart, very strong, hard, solid bricks, that they do not enable us to love the other people. Yes? When we feel the pain of the other people, we let those walls fall down, and our heart start to see again, start to feel again, start to act and start to work as it should be really doing. So when we go through difficulties in life, either it's our difficulties or somebody else's difficulties, our heart open up. So we might think about a relationship ending. We might think about losing your job or losing something which is important in your life. And so we think that is the end. We think that, oh gosh, we feel so sad. Yes? Well, the good news is that a broken heart is an open heart. So in those moments in which we suffer and in which we feel that everything is bad, everything is dark, if we manage to relax a little bit and accept the situation in which we are, and if we are a little bit trustful that it will be okay somehow, we will make it, well, something magical happens, something great happens. It happens that we start to feel the pain of everybody else, as well as the joy of everybody else. We tune in with the rest of mankind, rest of man and woman, children, animals, even just nature. We feel, because a broken heart is an open heart. So sometimes we have to go through even suffering in order to experience empathy, joy, closeness, inclusiveness. Yes? So that's when we grow. And that's when we learn how to really love ourselves and the people around us. Because when we suffer, we say, alright, I wouldn't want nobody else to suffer like I am doing. So you break down that egoism, you break down that closeness, and you become open, you become reactive, you become one. So that's how love brings oneness in humanity, oneness in mankind. And you feel that your brother, your sister, they are the same of you. And you feel you don't have any more secrets. Because what he lives or what she lives, you might live it as well. Because we are one. And we feel the same way. So when we experience this stage, something else occurs after. Is that we feel much lighter, much freer. We feel bigger and we feel stronger. Because we know that we can face situations, because other people around us is also facing situations. So we find ourselves really close to one and one, and then when we step on the road and we see somebody, you know, even just one smile from one person that we do not know warms up our heart, and we do the same for them, you know. Why? Because we are in tune with a love frequency, and that love frequency is open, is free, is not heavy, is sweet, and it gives us the possibility of really live more in a more meaningful way the days that we have to live. Okay, so that's why love has really the capacity of freeing us up. It's a way to liberation. We recognize it, we exercise it, we apply it, and then we sense the fruit of it. Yes, we live, we experience the fruit of it, and the fruits, they are sweet, and they give another dimension to you, and you feel that this world is looking better, man. You feel more joy when you come out of your house and you meet other people, and you feel more motivating in living these 24 hours that you have. Yes, because you apply love to situations, and you vow yourself, in a sense, you commit yourself to apply that force, that liberative force, in what might happen in your day. You know, you might wake up, go on the road, and something difficult happen. Well, have trust, love that situation, and know that it will be okay somehow. Know that you will make it, you know. This is an act of love. So, before to conclude, before to end up, I want to just touch the last aspect of this reasoning of today, which is love in its best way is unconditional. Do not apply love in order to have something else back. Let's try to experience unconditional love. Just do it for the sake of it. Just do it because it feels nice. It is nice. And you will feel better. So I just want to seal up with a personal sharing, you know, personal memory of when I was youth, when I was young. It is important to share personal experience in life. When I went the first time to Jamaica, I was 17 years old. I just finished my school. I saved up some money. I went to a travel agency with my mother because I could not buy a ticket by myself, and I wanted to buy a ticket. The travel agent didn't want to sell me the ticket because he said, no, it's too dangerous, you cannot go to Jamaica, you know. So somehow I end up in Jamaica. So I was in the street one day, and I was going to catch a bus. So for who has been to Jamaica, this might be familiar, you know. In the big city like Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, the bus stop can be a really crowded place, you know. A lot of people come to you, they want to put you upon a taxi, they want to put you upon a bus. So you might feel a bit confused, especially if you are not extremely familiar with the language, with the situation. It's a funny situation, it can be interesting, you know. So I was just there, I didn't know which bus to get on. I had my luggage, you know. I was there, many people shouting around, and so I was trying to find my way out in this situation. So while I was in that confusion at one point, you know, my eyes see a figure of a person coming down from the road. There was a slope, and this person was coming down, walking. It was a Rasta man. It was a tall, very tall and slim Rasta man, and he had Congo Natti. Congo Natti is like big, thick dreadlocks touching the ground, you know, with a beard, and he was just walking down. And at one point, our eyesight meet up somewhere far, you know, and he see me, and I saw him, and immediately as soon as he see me, he start to run. He started to run towards me, And I was, oh gosh, what's going on now? This was already a lot, you know. So he started to run towards me, and I was still waiting for deciding which bus I have to take. So he come to me and he look at me, he say, son. He take me like this, he start to shake me. Go here, jump on this bus. So he takes my luggage, you know, he takes my bag and he put me on the bus. He put me on the right seat in the right bus. Yes, and he was looking at me with such an intense sense of protection, of love. I never met this man. This man never met me. You know, we just end up meeting up in that moment. So he put me on the bus. That was the right bus, that he took me in the right place at the right moment. And while the bus was leaving, this man was still looking at me and saying, blessed love, blessed love. He was just expressing so strongly his feeling, his protection, you know. So it was somehow very magical to me, very special, especially if being a youth. He was an elder Rastaman. He didn't want money. He was not there for money. He was not there for nothing else. He was there just unconditionally. He sensed it somehow that I was, as a young Rastaman, from the other side of the world. I was in a difficult situation. So he ran down from that slope in order to fix up the thing, and he put me on the right track. And his love is constantly with me from that moment. So unconditional love sometimes can really solve so many things, teach and make us learn really how to live. So I give thanks for being here, and I'm thankful that, you know, you didn't just get up and leave, and we had the chance of spending this 30 minutes together. I will be leaving it to question and answer, but before that I want to take in Ras Ibi and see if the brethren have something to say. Give thanks.
Aye. Give thanks, Ras Julio, for wise words, and I really don't have much to add to this. I would like to say that, as you hear, love is not just a word, it's a practical thing, right? We have to practice love. Sharing, caring, those is a intensive part of Rastafari life and Livity. So I would say keep on doing good, because the good in life, that's the God in life, is the good in life. Yeah? So do good. Keep on doing good to one another. Also to those people that don't do good to you. Love is something that we not just share with our friends and our families and those we love. Is you love those that don't love you. Love those that don't do good to you. That's the hard part. So keep on doing good to one another, yeah? Thanks and praise. Rastafari.
Alias, last first. Give thanks, Ras Ibi. Anybody is free and welcome to ask, share, or whatever. It's your time, potentially. Well, this is great. You know, it means maybe that everybody has really received and given with love. So let's love talk, let's love speak, and let's love remain as the strongest energy. We are sealing it up here. We are closing this 2019 edition of House of Rastafari. It has been magical, it has been great, it has been wonderful. I don't want to repeat myself, but once again, thanks for you all. Thanks to my family from near and far. Thanks to the organizers of Rototom Sunsplash, and thanks to the incredible love that is and has been within I. And we know that love is God, and God is love. So let Him do the rest, and we will be alright. Yes? Give thanks and praises. Selassie the First.